the Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
Okay, good grief. Okay, I am, first of all, sorry for my tardiness today, everybody. It has been a day, and I just realized there's a whole bunch of stuff behind me, and that's okay. We'll have to just make do for now. Anyhow, hi. Welcome to Talk Wrestling here in, I don't even know what to call this studio at this point, because it's not where I'm normally going to be. But we are going to do the show, because I try very hard not to take sick days anymore on this show, even though I take them at the other job, which is probably not very healthy for me. Anyway, hope everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday out there in the multiverse. I know I'm late, so probably not have as good an audience tonight. It is what it is, because I know the WQ folks are probably a sleep. Oops, there went the, let's see, can I go, if I go this way, that will block out most of that stuff, which would be ideal. Okay, we'll just, I want the giant under the giant shot because that looks like shit. Okay, hang on. Trying to keep this thing plugged in. It's been a day. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want to not do the show. Let's see. Let's move that over here. Thank you. Okay. All right. Well, I did say when I was going to go live at whatever time I was going to go out tonight, that we were going to talk about a few different things, but I really said talk about anything, and I meant it. So we'll go ahead and JJ's here. Hello. And yeah, I do. What do I want to talk about? Well, first of all, let me congratulate the Kansas City Chiefs on being the Super Bowl champions. Patrick's second championship. Patrick Mahomes, and he was actually at the happiest place on earth this past Monday. My other work is still on the ground besides this camera space. This is really botchy, and I apologize, guys. Like I said, this is bad. And I know the question about Star Wars is because this is hanging in the background. For the record, I'm up at my sister's house, so it's a little bit good stuff. Okay. Oh, again, congratulations, Chiefs. Congrats to Patrick Mahomes. I know people are going to talk about that bad call, but the guy that got the call against him even said it was the right call. So, what are you going to do? But Patrick Mahomes was at Disneyland on Monday. We were there. My sister and niece and her friend and I were there Friday. So, ships passing the night, if you will. Because then again, the Super Bowl was in Phoenix the night before, because I was in Phoenix last week with the Bellas doing their live podcast. So, you know, it was a little crazy last week for sure. So I could go and answer your questions. I see it right here in front of me. My favorite is probably, the easy answer is Empire Strikes Back. I happen to like all of them, really. So my least favorite is probably Last Jedi. That took forever. It was a long one. So probably the second of the company-produced sequel trilogy. Have you watched the Whitney Houston movie? I have not, but I want to. Looks entertaining. If the Cowboys or Bengals had won the Super Bowl, would you set things on fire like the people of Philadelphia? No, because I have a little bit of decorum and class, unlike the Jagoffs in Philadelphia and the idiot people in LA that riot whether the Lakers win or lose, or the Dodgers for that matter. Notice no hockey fans rioting when we win the Stanley Cup both times. Just saying. Hockey fans have some respect. I got MLW quarter was Patrick in Anaheim, Orlando. He was actually here. He was in Anaheim. Like I said, it was on Monday. I was not supposed to be at work Monday, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway, but trying to get into that place, I'm sure, was bonkers, Joey. Anyway, so let me briefly talk about what I wanted to talk about. First of all, as far as the holiday special is acknowledged by the Cassidy Studios and the Jeff Meacham Multiverse of Media, but by the company, not so much. It is acknowledged as far as the origin of Boba Fett cartoon, but you can't really hate on it because it's not. It is canon and it isn't, because the company doesn't recognize it. Lucas doesn't recognize it. but it's pretty bad. It is the most coked out adventure in the history of space, and that includes the actual Lost in Space movie, which was atrocious as hell. Anyway, on the Kings front, and I missed this game on Saturday because I was, what the hell was that Saturday? I was here Saturday. But congrats to our Stanley Cup leading captain, Dustin Brown, on a well-deserved retirement. Retired number in the banners of the Crypto.com arena, and I didn't know he was getting the statue out in front, which I think is pretty cool. So good on Dustin. Hell of a man. He and his wife and his kids are awesome. I love them all to death. I wish I could have been there, but again, circumstances are what they are, and I'm very happy for Dustin and the Brown family. And Mrs. Brown is still very active in the community with the Kings and the Kings Care Foundation and the Booster Clubs. So I am looking forward to having them be involved going forward as well. They're just awesome, and I love them. Again, I love them to pieces. Let's see, comments. Should there be a Back to the Future Part 4? Nope. Nope. If the Bobs are happy with 3, I'm happy with 3. It was a 3-act structure. It was a 3-part series. It came to a definitive, wonderful conclusion. The animated series kind of is what it is, right? I've seen the parts 4 and 5 that have been amalgamated out of the video game by Telltale. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I love the Back to the Future ride video that was originally featured on the ride at Universal Studios, Hollywood, Orlando, and I think Japan, and is now across all the DVDs, Blu-rays, whatever. You can find it online too, I'm sure. But no more movies. Everybody's happy. No remakes. It's I've said this and I've gotten a little flack for Back to the Future, but it really is the perfect movie. The script is amazing. It was so well cast. It was so well laid out, and it's just a beautiful movie. Hassan says, "Oh yeah, it's Valentine's Day for anybody that gives a shit about that sort of thing." I don't. So, but if you celebrate, good on you. Haven't cared about that in at least 10 years. So there you go. Is there anything that can be done to save the careers of Baron Corbin and Mustafa Ali? Ali, depends how the match with Ziggler goes, honestly, because even Ziggler's kind of in WWE purgatory as far as his career advancement. Not that he really cares. I think Ali genuinely wants to be above where he is, but he's not. And Corbin, God, I want so bad for Corbin to be better because, man, he had such potential when they called him up, and it's just a mess. So, is there anything that can be done? Yes. Do I know what it is? No. It's awful. And yes, the Super Bowl of wrestling is coming. We will get into that momentarily as we go into our plugs. And Matt, of course, is here as always, wishing everybody well and asking everybody's doing, and everybody hit that like button. Again, whatever platform you're watching this on YouTube, whether it's the Jeff Meacham Network, the Costume Studios, nerdq.com YouTube, the Great Cherry brand, Noah's channel, the Simple Man brand, and the J Hebert 75 Studios, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell that we know when we're live. We appreciate that. We talked about Super Bowl earlier, Hassan. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as well. What I got to see of it, which was very little, but I'm glad the Eagles lost because, with all due respect to the Bellas, fuck the Eagles because I'm a Cowboys fan. I missed Money in the Bank matches at Mania DU. I did get to see a Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania. That was when I went in 2008 with my dad to Orlando for WrestleMania 24. I know JJ was at the very first Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania 21, 2005. I'm okay with it having its own show, or at least its own platform, because there's too many to make matches now. So do I miss it? Yes. Do I mind it's on its own? No, I don't. Am I excited about Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine? Okay. So I'm a terrible Disney employee / comic fan. I have not seen the Deadpool movies. Usually when I'm at our home studio now, I have a list over here on the side of my wall of things that Aaron and JJ have me that I haven't watched that I need to watch, and the Deadpool movie is definitely on there. So, and there goes the camera shot. Hi. Technical difficulties, folks. Stand by. It's going to be one of those shows. Anyway, so I didn't get to see AEW Dark, Hassan, but I will say, let me, you might lose me here on shot here for a second, but I did want, actually, I think I can do this without having to go away. Let me see if I saved it. I think I did. I meant to, so we'll see if it actually followed through with it. I don't know if I saved it or not. We shall soon. Oh, I did. Would you look at that? Fancy, fancy. So I didn't get to see AEW Dark today because I've been busier than heck. But I did see Dark Elevation yesterday, and our buddy Gino Rivera's against the former Big Cass, of course, now known as Big Bill. And yes, it was an enhancement match for Bill, so Gino was a sacrificial lamb. But it's always good to see a buddy get time in one of the big companies. We've seen Gino before on WWE TV and AEW TV as far as a playing security guard, I believe, and other roles. But this is his first time he's actually in the ring. So congrats to our buddy Gino. We hope to have him on the network again, either in the Constantine Studios or the Jeff Meacham Network, the entire multiverse, really. Gino's a bud. We'll have him back anyway. But congrats again to Gino for getting AEW TV time, even if it is on YouTube. That's always you never know what's going to happen when you get something like that. It's a good launch point. So congrats to Gino. I'm just going to hold this thing. It's just going to keep falling. And it's going to look awkward for the rest of the show, but I really don't care. All right. So again, congrats to Dustin Brown. Again, I meant to put this up earlier, but there is his number hanging with the other numbers in King's history. So congrats again to the former Capitan Dustin Brown. Well-deserved retirement, well-deserved placement in King's history. All right. The XFL, of course, is relaunching this weekend with week 1, 8 teams. It's a 10-week season, so we'll be crowning champions after 10 weeks. Can this be the third time be the charm? Of course, the original XFL was what it was. My goodness, just a lamented, terrible thing in WWF and sports history. The second time with Alpha Sports running it, the new Vince McMahon brand, if you will, I still say it would have had more legs had the pandemic not been a thing, but we'll never know for sure because the pandemic just decimated the opportunity for growth within the company and the teams. So will the Midas touch of the most electrifying man in sports entertainment, and all of entertainment, really, he's the biggest star in the world. Will The Rock and his ex-wife, Jenny Garcia, prove to be the key to sustaining life for the XFL? We shall see. Yeah, I didn't mean to exclude Bob's banner, but it's actually, let's see if we can. Bob Miller's banner is over here to the left on screen of Rogi's banner, but it's just those are the players. So didn't have a chance to skip it up there. Joya was there for the first Money in the Bank match. So there you go. So you and JJ have something in common. I think everybody I know that's a wrestling fan in Southern California, except me and Lee, went to WrestleMania 21. Who's the best stable theme song? NWO, DX, or The Horsemen? Man, talk about choosing between your children. Oh, God. I mean, the NWO is always going to be my favorite stable. But both the Horsemen, and we're talking about the last incarnation of the Horsemen, the one from 98 to 99, music-wise, was tremendous. DX's songs are legendary, I think, also. So I'll go with DX. I actually will. I do enjoy the NWO classic rock house song, but DX always had good music. So we'll go with DX on that front. All right. So the other topic I want to talk about before I sign off, because I'm going to try to make this super quick, is, of course, Elimination Chamber this coming Sunday. And we'll have a watch along on the WWE Network of the WWE Network presentation on Peacock on the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media outlets. And again, you see those up there to the right. Again, I don't know if I'm going to be on Greg's channel out this weekend, or I'm going to talk to Greg soon about all that. But the question was, how will the Chamber show shape or even reshape WrestleMania? And there's been a lot of chatter about the non-actual Chamber match feature contest in this match. And of course, I'm referring to the match that will see a culmination, hopefully, maybe even continue after this, of just one of the best stories in WWE history. Sami Zayn and the Bloodlines falling out, and of course the match with Roman. Now, before you, it's not the best. I had two people that I consider very, very high experts in wrestling and wrestling fandom agree that this is some of the best storytelling in the last 35, 40 years. And the first person that brought it up was Aaron. Aaron briefly, he tweeted out the first one in the upper left. He said, folks, the Reigns-Zayn split may be the greatest thing to a pay-per-view ever. Somebody, tried to, lambast Aaron for saying it and saying, what about Punk and Money in the Bank? And Aaron was quick to point out he loved that story, but number one, it was a brief story. And number two, Punk used insider terms and references to pop the internet, which was not done here. That makes for captivating television, but the Bloodline stuff has reached next level with long-term storytelling and multiple characters playing different roles. And everybody has been elevated from this, not just one person. And that's one of the reasons Aaron rates is so high. And then Aaron talks about what we've all have concluded to be the outcome on Saturday, which is Reigns and Sami and Jey Uso, who is, even as we speak, conflicted on television purposes. He sides with Roman and the Bloodline and cost Zayn, which will then set up Owens and Zayn beating the Usos at WrestleMania for the tag titles. Aaron says it should be the night one main event. And Aaron's going to hate me for putting this on his feed because it's on ODQ tonight as well. But I watched 83 Weeks last week. Last week's show that was early for us. I forget how soon the non-subscribers got it, but prior to Eric and Conrad talking about Sherry Martel, which was the topic on this last show, which again, Sherry Martel, awesome lady, just would have been her 60th birthday this last week. So just gone too soon. 49 years old she was, which is crazy that she was 49 when she passed. I mean, demons are what they are. But anyway, Eric and Conrad actually agreed with Aaron's assessment about the Usos facing Sami and Kevin at WrestleMania, and that it should be a main event. And Eric himself even said it was the Bloodline story from start with the conflict with Jay, the integration of Jimmy, and the thing with Sami, and everything has been better storytelling than the NWO. Eric Bischoff said that on his own podcast. I find it hard to disagree, mainly for a couple reasons. The NWO never had a conclusion. It never had an end game, seemingly. It never really resolved itself. It just kept petering out. And the Bloodline story, whether it's Saturday, whether it's here in Inglewood in under 45 days, I think, at this point, or close to 45. Well, number's not in my head right now. Figure it was 49 on Saturday, so 48 Sunday, 47 days, 45 days today till WrestleMania. Damn, that's awesome. Anyway, whether it continues on, as long as there's a definitive end, which there appears to be at some stage, it has been some of the most epic stuff I've seen in my 32 years of fandom. So, and Aaron's going on 35. Aaron, I think Aaron started watching in 87, so past 35 for Aaron. I think he started watching after WrestleMania 3. So again, my arm's giving me the shot, guys. I'm sorry, I'm having to hold this thing up. I apologize for the unprofessionalism. Yeah, it's a little crazy tonight, a little backwards. I am not going to make it to Revolution. Number one, ask for the day off like a bonehead. Number two, it's just not cost. It's very cost prohibitive for me right now to travel to San Francisco, to rent a room, to buy the tickets, to the shows I was going to go to. But I will be more than happy. I know I'm breaking a promise or a word to the man in charge of operations at the Cow Palace, and I'm sorry. Just not going to happen. Psycho says, my feeling is that if it's not Cody who wins at Mania, WWE instead has Braun Breaker, Gabe Stevens win the titles, the fans will revolt so hard like it did at the Royal Rumble. I agree. whatever happens, whether it's Sammy in triple threat or not, if Cody does not leave SoFi Stadium as the WWE champion, whether it's undisputed or not, there's going to be a riot, at least internally and on the internet, of course, because, people, well, we're going to riot in person. Yeah, well, LAPD will lock your ass up for that shit out here. So good luck with that. It's not going to be a thing. Caleb, I haven't seen Click the whole way through. That's another one of those on the list. So there it is. But yeah, I just found it so interesting that, Big Dave up in NorCal also has talked about this has been some of the best storytelling in WWE history. So when you've got Meltzer and Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson and Aaron Rift all on the same page, it's gotta be something good, right? If people who can't agree on jack shit can agree on something, you've got good stuff. Okay, I think that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna try to breeze through these plugs really quick. So I did mention throughout the course of last week I was going to make my big return as a fan to XPW for the first time since my birthday 20 years ago, which again is mind-boggling. And I also mentioned that I first met my buddy of 20 years, Lizzie Valentine, at the XPW show on my birthday in 2003. I wouldn't fight Brock Lesnar. He would kill me no matter what form he takes. Anyway, I found out today that another longtime friend is also going to be part of the Miss Extreme contest coming up at XPW's Pleasure of the Flesh on Saturday. That's longtime LA Kings fan and more recent friend than Lizzie, yes, but Alexis Lamore is going to be there. So I get to see two friends I haven't seen in a long damn time on Saturday. Looking forward to it. You can get if you're in SoCal or going to be in the area of SoCal this weekend, thexpwrestling.com for tickets, the XP Wrestling on Instagram, I think on Facebook too, definitely, probably Twitter. XPW Wrestling. You'll know it because the marquee is here, I'll show you what it is. I think I have the image for Saturday saved. Don't quote me because I don't know for sure. Let's just see. Let's just scroll. We're scrolling. There it is. So if you happen to see an XPW page with this as the marquee, you're good to go. That's what we're going to be at the W Room on Saturday night. Anyway, so that's Saturday. I know I want everybody, of course, to make the priority to watch our Elimination Chamber coverage because that's where I make the money. I'm not making a dime off this XPW stuff. I'm just supporting buddies. So please go watch our live. If you're not in SoCal, or you happen to be able to do both, or you can be at the XPW show and watch the Chamber watch along on your phone. Cool. We appreciate that too. We do. I know Lizzie is. Alexis is actually not a wrestler. She is I don't know if she still is in the adult film industry, but she was for many years. But Lizzie, I don't know if Lizzie is physically cleared to wrestle. She did have an injury for a while, but she's been working out like crazy to rehab the injury. So hopefully that is no longer a thing. So that's Saturday. Again, the Greg Cherry Show tomorrow coming up at 7 o'clock Eastern Pacific. I will not be on the show this week. There's just too much going on here at Casa de In-Laws, so I will not be able to make it, Greg. So I apologize if you're watching. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Monday. So we're recording this tomorrow. This is one of the things we're doing tomorrow. The top 10 all-time matches in the history of the No Way Out show from WWE. That'll be Dad's coming up on the Dad's. Oh, the wrestling, I should say, coming up on Monday. Again, with Lizzie, you can follow her on. You can only follow her on her fan site at IamLizzieXOXO. You can check her out. I'll get on Saturday. Next Saturday, the 25th, JJ will be attending this show. Valor Pro Wrestling presents 92345. It'll be coming up on out here in the Hesperia, Victorville area on the 25th at, where's the bell time? 3 p.m. So you can check that out the day after No Surrender from Impact Wrestling. That's all next week. If you missed Halfway Sports Bar this afternoon, you can check that out on demand anytime. We did talk about the end of the NFL season and the beginning of the XFL season coming up this weekend. Now, I have this plug. I know the dates and the times are incorrect, Aaron, so forgive me. No DQ review is actually 10 o'clock Eastern this weekend due to Aaron traveling, but Raw recap, Dynamite recap, SmackDown recap is all in the queue for Aaron, and hopefully, with any luck, Talk Wrestling will be back in its normal time slot coming up next week at 10:05 Eastern, 7:05 Pacific. Hopefully, we'll be back at our normal hour. I would much rather watch the Star Wars Holiday Special than a minute of Damien Demento. I'd rather watch paint dry in a desert area with Limburger cheese under my nose than anything with Damien Demento in it. It's pretty clear. Yes. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week. There it is. Thank you again, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for the Greg Cherry Show and the Dynamite recap after Dynamite here on NerdQ.com and across the week, for the rest of the week across the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media. Good night.